Tarot, Tea Leaf and Oracle forecast for the month of February 2019. If you would like a personal reading, a private reading, one of those incredible soulmate or twin flame readings, or to subscribe to the weekly star sign update, please go to the links in the description box below and do so through my website. So Aquarius, I have the teacup in front of me that I made for you. And once the cup of tea was finished, we have a look at the tea leaves that are left behind. And we have a look at the symbols. The number 45, very, very clearly in this teacup. I always write the numbers down because things, and the number 14, no, hang on one moment. That's like 1 and 11. It's 1 and 11. So the number's 45, the number's 1, and the numbers 11 show up here. So those could be lucky numbers for you. I have a feeling those are lucky numbers for you. For some of you, they could have some kind of significance. There's the number 4 very clearly in here as well as the number 11 again. This is very interesting. So this teacup has very specific numbers in it. Guys, number 7 shows up as well. Oh my goodness. This must be a string of lucky numbers for somebody. Very most definitely. Where else would they show up in the teacup, right? If I look at the other symbols that are showing up here for you, I'm actually being quiet now because I'm having a look at what they are. There's quite a full teacup. Interesting full teacup here. There's a little fish, and fish normally means a little goldfish by the looks of things. Normally means some kind of material gain, material wealth coming in for somebody, most definitely in the month of February. You're going to be getting something in the material sense, which is very nice. There's a whole little, like almost look like ones, like a little explosion. That can sometimes mean there's a bit of excitement coming into your life in the month of February. The bottom of the teacup, there's a little star. So that means there's a little heart next to it. So for somebody, success is guaranteed in matters of the heart. Maybe for many of you, in fact. It's very, very clear at the bottom of the cup. 2 very clear symbols. Right, I'm still busy looking and seeing what else I can see here for you. There's a lot of symbols in here, but those are the ones that sort of stick out the most. The numbers is the most interesting part in this teacup because they are so clear. Incredibly clear. So see what those mean for you. They could be lucky numbers. Some of them could be dates, but I have a feeling it's the set of numbers together which means something to somebody or to many of you in this teacup. Like I say, that seems to be the main symbols in this cup. Right, if we move on to your tea leaf cards, you get the hammock, which is taking a vacation physically and mentally. In February, you're going to have the opportunity, it's going to come up just to have a bit of a time out. Maybe you get to go away, or maybe things just ease up a little, but you're going to have a bit of a breather. You're going to have time to take a breath. The broken ring card comes up next. That says parting of ways in either romance or business. Some of you are going to be leaving a job or deciding to leave a job or closing up and finishing a project and heading off to somewhere else. Some of you, it could possibly be a relationship that's moving on. Somehow, if I look at your relationship reading, I think that's not the most likely case. For me, it feels like it's more of a business decision or a goal decision or a project decision. You're actually going to make a decision to head off in a different direction. You're going to break off with what you are doing and head off in a different direction. The scales, you might not make the actual move in February, right? But you're going to definitely make that solid decision in February. It's like you've reached the point where it's now I've got to move on. Now I must do something else. Now I need to pursue a different goal, a different job. Maybe you're going to finish your job up completely and stay at home rather. There's that option too. The scale says keep your life in balance. The spear says heartache over what you no longer have. And the clouds say temporary problems. So there's a little bit of a spot here in February. Something you have had going on in your life quite for a while now, and it's become pretty much part of your routine, is about to not be there anymore. It's about to finish up. It's about to leave. Somebody could leave your office. Someone could leave your circle. And you might feel a little bit of a twang about this. You know, you might feel a little bit like, oh, I wish they were still around. I wish that was still around. But this is a temporary problem. Now, what's interesting about that last card is it finishes up your month like that, which says that in March, no doubt, something is coming up, which sort of rectifies the situation, makes you feel better. Always when one door closes, another one opens. I know that's a really, really well-used saying, isn't it? But this seems to be the case in this story, because that final card that says it's a temporary problem, that feeling of heartache, or that feeling of missing, or that feeling of I wish things could return to the way they were, that's actually going to give way to a different feeling in the month of March. But we'll have to see, because it's not showing up in your January reading. We'll have to wait for March to see how this situation. But we'll have to now wait for the month of March to see exactly how this changes, or what changes it, because it's now not showing up in your February reading exactly what that will be. Right, so now your relationship reading. Interesting set of cards, this. So the true love card says there's the romance of a lifetime. This is coupled with the oracle card of regeneration. What this says to me is there's two scenarios at play here. If you're in a committed partnership or relationship, that feeling of true bonding with your partner, that this is your real partner for life, that this is your soulmate basically, that gets regenerated. It might have been tested and stretched in the last few months. In fact, I kind of remember that coming through in Aquarius's readings. So the month of February brings that bond back into focus. You feel that regeneration or rejuvenation of that feeling for your partner again. If you're looking for a partnership or relationship, it's quite possible that someone you crossed paths with in the past, or someone you felt feelings for in the past, but it never got off the ground. In the month of February, you might bump into that person again. And this is the true love. This is the romance of a lifetime, and you're able to rekindle that romance again. Or perhaps you even started a relationship with them in the past and it fizzled out because timing was just not on your side. The codependency card says addictions are affecting your romantic life, and this is coupled with fork in the road. It's an interesting combination of cards, this. You perhaps have a tendency to play out certain dynamics within a relationship. And in February, you are going to be coming up against that, or you're going to realize it, you recognize it, or you're going to be playing it out. February, you have the opportunity to change that relationship dynamic. You constantly get into the same argument. If you constantly choose the same kind of people, and then you somehow maybe sabotage the relationship early on due to feelings of fear or whatever it may be. Codependency is always fear related. Sometimes we don't understand the basis of that fear. It's usually due to relationship experiences we had perhaps very early on in life, and perhaps even in other lifetimes. But February, you're going to realize, I need to make a choice here. I need to decide I'm going to do my relationships different from now on. I'm not going to base what I do on fear anymore. I'm going to base it on something else, on love, on looking forward to the future, on just not allowing fear to control my life. You're going to be making that kind of decision both in existing relationships and in future relationships with someone you meet in February. You're changing the dynamic of a relationship. Very nice. That can take lifetimes to do. You are reaching that point in February. Let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. And the Yang card coupled together says to me, I think more along the lines than actually asking a friend for help, other than some of you actually asking a friend, look, I know I do this in relationships. What do you think? Some of you are definitely going to be doing that, and others of you, it's going to be a case of maybe you're going to be more social where your relationships are concerned. That's the feeling I get. You're going to take your relationship out into the social zone, make it more outgoing, make more friends, make your social circle bigger. It will require action on your part. One can obviously not sit around and wait for that to happen. For those of you looking for partnerships or relationships, it's among your friends that you will meet that person. Either they introduce you to somebody, or it's to someone they know, and that person introduces you to someone, but it definitely has that kind of feeling. The Yang card that finishes up says, however, you do need to be the one that takes the action. So either you plan going out, or if they ask you out, say yes. If your friends say, come, let's go and do this, or you plan an outing with your friends. But it's definitely a case of you will meet up with this person in a social situation. And those of you that are in committed partnerships or relationships, you can change the dynamic of your relationships by having a better, bigger social circle, or even a new one. That seems to be the message coming through, but it's going to be up to you to make those decisions or moves. And in February, you're quite likely to do that. Your tarot and oracle cards tell an equally intriguing story, Aquarius. You get the journey, and this is coupled with the unfinished symphony. Something you started, a journey, you started a project, you started a wish, a dream. It's been left unfinished. You shelved it, you put it somewhere, you haven't pursued it again. Now the time comes in February to pursue that again. It could be a dream. It could be something you once thought of doing. You took your first tentative steps, and that's as far as you got. There's a very interesting energy or dynamic involved in abandoned dreams, especially those which we took the first few steps of. They kind of leave this loose hanging energy there. I can see the picture of what it looks like. To describe it's not going to be that easy. And it's almost as if it's a door that's half closed. And until you either totally close that door or open it and step through it, there's this void there which the universe does not know how to fill for you. So it has to make way for something new if you shut the door. And if you open the door and step through it, you can pursue the dream. But either way, that's what comes up in February. You're on that particular path, on that journey once more. What's interesting here is you get the abundance card coupled with a never-ending story. So I get a very clear story coming through here for you. You perhaps never pursued that dream or that goal or that idea because you told yourself you're not good enough, I can't succeed, it won't bring me what I need in life. The abundance card speaks about material wealth, not only material wealth, but just feeling wealthy, happy, content, satisfied, fulfilled, getting what I need, which normally at this particular point in our evolution includes our material goods. But you've been telling yourself the story that if I pursue this dream, this goal, whatever it may be, it's not going to fulfill me because it's, I won't be good enough. That's not the way it works. Whatever the case may be, you've told you this story, but it's about to change. You need to change that story. February, this opportunity comes for you to say to yourself, hang on one moment. Who says it can't work out? Who says it can't be successful? Who says it can't fulfill me? Okay? There's no proof. The proof is only in you doing it and seeing if that's the way it works out. The final two cards is emotions and to be fair. Very, very sort of like, I'd say, pertinent ending to the story is, in February, don't take things too seriously. But it's specifically speaking here about this goal or this dream or this project that you have. It's a case of just do it with a light-hearted attitude. Enjoy it as much as you can. Bring as much enjoyment and laughter into the whole process as you possibly can. Because to be fair says, you need to look at what you were saying to yourself, what you were thinking to yourself, what you were predicting for yourself, where the situation was concerned. And if that is not what played out in the beginning, because in the back of your mind you were constantly repeating that story to yourself, that it won't work, it can't work, it's not possible, whatever the case may be. If you take a more light-hearted, detached attitude to it, you laugh as much as you can when things don't pan out the way they should have, when they perhaps look as if they're going to fail and you need to get up and dust yourself off again, and you have a good chuckle at, well, that was a lesson learned. You may see this story, this dream, this wish playing out completely differently to your former predictions. So the time is ripe in February for you to pursue that abandoned goal, that abandoned wish, that abandoned dream, project, whatever it may be. Just remember, your attitude is going to be the overarching effect. It's going to be what determines the outcome of that wish or that dream or that goal. Keep it light, laugh as much as you can. I hope that you enjoyed that reading. If you would like any of those readings I offered at the beginning, the personal, private, soulmate, or subscription to weekly updates for your star sign, please contact me via the links in the description box below. That is via the website. I want to thank you for watching, listening, commenting, liking, subscribing, and for those of you that share this video, I truly appreciate it. Those of you that comment, I read every single comment. Thank you very much.